Welcome to EntreProgrammers Podcast, the podcast for developreneurs, the podcast where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of three developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
All right, we're live.
Woohoo!
So yeah, we're just talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you, Josh. I know you're watching it.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not doing it from Ireland. No, he's in, but he's not in Ireland right now. He's in,
why is he not doing it from the zoo? Is what I'm wondering.
From what I understood, he's dropping his family off at the zoo and then going to Ireland for 2 weeks.
No, shit.
I should do that. Have fun at the zoo for 2 weeks. Yeah, well, and I just wanted to say, Josh, I'm sorry that John forced you to retire, but enjoy your trip to Ireland on all the money you cashed out from Simple Programmer. Use it to buy Plural Sight Stock, because I hear that's what's making John rich these days.
Yep.
And where is the stock now?
Man, it is though. It's like what is it at now?
Like, what's the % increase?
It's going to drop in 3 weeks, so buy Bitcoin after that.
It's basically at $28 right now. I got it at 15.
So what is it now?
It's $28. I got it at 15.
So you doubled your investment already.
Almost. I've made I've made about $260,000 on it right now. So.
Yeah, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with Joe Eames, who's another Plural Sight author, and he's like, yeah, I bought 20,000, and John bought
200,000.
200, and he's made like $300,000 on it. He's like, I should have bought more. I really should have bought more.
I told him.
Aaron Frost was pulling the same thing, right? He's like, I wish I'd had more money to buy more.
All of this sounds great in hindsight, but if it had gone down, they would be like, look at John, such a fucking blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
Stocks are a funny game. It's guaranteed though, almost with the IPO, like getting in on the on the initial IPO.
Their numbers look terrific, and they really there was not a good chance they were going to go down. So.
I knew I was going to make $5 a share, about at least. There was no way I was going to lose money on it, because I was going to put a trailing stop loss on it immediately anyway, which I did. I have a 20% trailing stop loss on it, so the worst I'm ever going to do. I think at this point the worst I can do is make $200,000. So,
oh, that's rough.
Yeah. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes. I'm hoping to be able to hold on to it for a year. That stop loss doesn't hit, so I can get the short-term capital gains on it. I mean, the long-term. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, so this week's been kind of fun. You remember last week I told you that I told all my co-hosts I wasn't recording with them for a few weeks?
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to extend that over the week of the 4th of July, and then I'll come back after that.
Okay.
But yeah, so this week's been kind of nice. I've been just hammering out stuff on Podwrench and then just not pushing it.
Yeah.
So I've been playing games with my kids and doing a lot of stuff like that. And what's really funny is that some of the stuff that I had been working for a while has been coming back around, and I've got 3 different sponsors or potential sponsors. One of them came through for about $20,000 worth of sponsorships.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then another one, they sent the proposal to because they're a marketing agency, they sent their proposal to the client, and they're basically anticipating, the client sounded pretty excited, so that's probably another like $40,000. And then I had another company that I had been reaching out to. And this is the thing with the follow-up, even if nobody follows up, I'm now convinced that it works. It just takes a long time, because I've been bugging them forever. And they came back and they said, we're going to be running a 3-month campaign, August, September, and October. And we want to sponsor as many podcasts as we can. And so we're working out the details there. So they asked me for a proposal. But if they do that, that's probably another $40,000 or so. And and it's funny too, because a lot of this came through as soon as I said, I'm not going to freak out about all this stuff. And I wonder if there's a little bit of serendipity there as well.
there is this concept of persisting on persisting.
Yeah.
John and I were talking about one time, but it's the same thing. Sometimes, persistence, we think of it as a linear thing that it's not working. I tried it, still not working, so screw it. But then you take an abstraction of persistence and you become persistent on your persistence, saying even if I persisted and it did work, I'll try persistence again, and then
Yeah.
I'll try persistence again, and at some point it starts to break through. It's same with dating, but it's basically you're the more you are in their inbox, the more they are likely to keep knowing about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trigger.
I think too, though, that a lot of these folks, I think it plays into human nature, this persistence, especially when it comes down to dealing with other people, because a lot of these folks are just busy, right? I mean, I'm reaching out to marketing folks, and so I'm kind of staying warm in their consciousness, but they're not telling me to go away, and it's because they're vaguely interested, but they're not like writing it off as I'm not doing podcasts, or I'm not going to do his podcast or anything like that. And so the continued persistence, eventually it gets to the point where they're looking for some new option, and mine fits the bill close enough to where they give it a better look, and then they come back and go, yeah, let's do it, or I've been thinking about this for a while, let's try it. And I think that's where this comes through. And so, I'm also working on my offering and trying to make sure that it provides the value so that they keep paying for it. Because it's much easier for me to get somebody on board and keep them on board, I think, than it is for me to keep lining up new sponsors every 6 months or so.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's also like in email marketing, there's a concept that because your subscribers are not unsubscribing, even though they are seeing your email, they're not unsubscribing. That means they're cool with you. They just are not interested in whatever you're saying right now, but in the future they will be. So even if they didn't open any email, just because your email is there and they're not unsubscribing, it's okay. We're still making progress with them, because at some point they will. We're still making progress with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've bought products after like 1 year of not even opening an email, and then suddenly I see that email that totally speaks to me, and I'll be like, all right, I need it right now, so I'll just go ahead and buy it. So,
well, that's why email marketing works the way it does. I mean, we talk about it a lot on the show, and Josh will sometimes talk about things converting at like 5 or 10%, but it's not because those products aren't applicable to everybody else on the list. It's just that that's where those people's minds are at the time. Yeah. And so that it's the same thing. It's that persisting, even though, at any given time, the vast majority of your list isn't going to buy from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a really good book called Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes that talks about this concept about basically if you walk into any audience at any given time, like 10% of them are looking to buy, or I forget what the exact percentages are, but
3% are totally interested.
Yeah, and I've read that book. It's a terrific book. If anyone's listening to this, it's a terrific book. But
speaking of which, unfortunately, John's audience wasn't really in the 3% this time around.
No.
We had the biggest launch.
We did make one sale. I got one. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I had 38 sales on my audience, and we had one sale from John's audience, which tells me we're trying to debug now. We're talking about what could have happened. Price point might be the audience might be sensitive to a price point, but also because they haven't been nurtured into that thing, right? I've literally nurtured the hell out of my audience over the last 2 months. Meditation, emails on meditation, videos on meditation, everything. I've literally told them all I could, my story, books, famous people, everything. I kept on hammering them with the importance of meditation. So I got people to convert. And a lot of that audience was actually Simple Programmer, past Simple Programmer affiliate, in the sense, the ones who had bought through Simple Programmer other products of mine. So they were primed for their idea. Unfortunately, in John's case, meditation just came up, very quickly, and I think the audience wasn't receptive or ready for it yet. So that's my first thing.
Yeah, we didn't have any persuasion going on,
We
which
didn't
you
have
had
any
with
free content.
for that price point. It's important. I think also like so. I think it appeared just as a money grab,
Yeah.
right? Which it was kind of a rush thing, but because there was no content leading up to it,
Yeah.
if you want to at that price point, and
Yeah.
and then also, I mean, I also haven't really sold that much on the YouTube channel exclusively, so there's that.
Well,
Right?
I got to talk to you about that though. Like, I think you somehow sell on YouTube in a way that really is not conducive to the channel, like to the YouTube ways of doing things.
Yeah.
I like I've never had. So one time I had complaints about selling because I literally went into a sales pitch straight up.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned my lesson. Never go to a straight sales pitch. Give them content for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, teach them something. And then in the last 1 minute, just say, hey, by the way, if you're interested, check it out here. Because what will happen is there's a drop off, right? At the end of it, you only have 10 to 15% who are really interested in the topic, who will click on that and who will not complain. What happens when you straight up go into a sales pitch, it feels like I never do straight up sales pitches. And that's why I keep telling you, dude, those are pretty dangerous in the sense they don't work for a social media audience like YouTube and even any audience, right? We can't just go into straight up sales pitches because people are like, no, don't sell me. But if we educate for 20 minutes and then 1 minute to sell, just 1 minute is all it is. Because the whole education is itself a sales process more than anything else. So sell through education rather than sell through, hey, this is the sales page and this is the offer. I don't think that is a good strategy for YouTube or even in general. Like you can't sell like that.
No. I mean, yeah, exactly. And I think also like it's a combination of things too. Like the price point too is high for a product that's not my own, right? It's like there's a lot of things going on there. So
also
also just the topic of meditation, right? Is again it's one of those things that people don't expect to pay for that, whereas if people do expect to pay to learn how to fly a helicopter, right? It's like
Also, I feel like you somehow make a big deal about selling on your channel. I really feel that. I don't know if you notice that, but somehow you feel like you have a certain hang up about selling on your channel. So you suddenly get into this like either I'm teaching mode or I'm selling mode.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Right. And suddenly you have to switch your gears and say, oh, by the way, this is a sale pitch and I'm going to sell you and blah, blah, blah. But that's not the way I want to hear a sales pitch, or that's not the way I want it to be, to come across to me. All I want is educate me and tell me if you have something on offer, that's cool. But when you totally you go digital on this, it's not gray. It's not like analog. You go digital, you say, okay, education. Oh, by the way, we're selling. So it's like, which we did in that interview too. You're like, oh, by the way, of course, there's something for sale. Yes, there is. But I think that transition really makes it feel pretty awkward.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
As a listener, it's pretty awkward. Like, why are you suddenly saying, how about if we just had a normal conversation and at the end of it, if I'm still listening, I'm interested, and then we make a pitch. It's like a webinar. It's like an email, even email.
I don't know. Because I've listened to shows where they have the pitches at the very end, and that's where people quit listening because they're aware there is nothing after this. And so what I've seen work for a lot of folks is they'll kind of get to the point, but they don't get all the way to the point. And then it's like, okay, so I have 3 suggestions for, let's say that he's talking about meditation, right? I have 3 suggestions to make your meditation practice better. But before I get there, I want to tell you about this awesome product. And that way you make the transition. And then when you're done, you make the transition back out. All right, now let's talk about those 3 things. And that way it feels like it's part of the conversation, but at the same time, it's a bump out. People know that you're marketing to them, but at the same time, it feels like a more natural part of the conversation, and they have a reason to stick around.
True, yeah.
Because if you're going to give them a 30-second pitch, it's actually not worth it to them to reach down to that scrub bar to try and figure out where you got back to the content that they wanted at the end. And so they'll listen to it, and even if people are kind of leery of the sales pitch, them hearing it does impact their thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking more in terms of any kind of educational sales. It's always about educate, and then give them an offer if they're interested. Because I'm thinking I'm doing this for their benefit. I'm doing this for their good. This is going to help them, goddammit. And unless they invest, they're not going to do it. I know that. Unless they invest, they're not going to be interested. If you don't invest, you're not going to pay attention, right? What you pay for, you pay attention to. So I know I'm doing it for their benefit. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad I'm doing. I'm just going through this process of educating them. But
exactly.
don't short circuit that.
If you go into it with this is weird or this is uncomfortable or I have to do this, it comes through in your voice and your body language. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It throws off your energy. Because when I'm doing the video, I'm convinced that this is really, you got to have it. Like, I know this is important for you. You got to have it. Right. I'm thinking about that. And so for me, the sales is not bad at all. Like I'm actually, I know without the sale, you will not make a change in your life. So the sale is important. So I don't want it to sound like, oh man, I'm now going to sell you. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I think Alph M is the best example of how to do this, man. He is unbelievable. He is literally, he's so good. He never makes a big deal about Alph M. YouTube channel. Watch his YouTube channel. Every video, he makes a sales pitch. Every freaking video, he makes a sales pitch. And it's unbelievable how good it is. And the people never complain. Like if you watch the videos, there's like, the like ratio is amazing. The comment ratio is amazing. People never complain because he's very genuine. Like he's like, hey, these are the things. And by the way, if you're interested in this, click on the link below. And then he keeps going.
Right.
He keeps talking about other things. He never like gets hung up on saying, oh, by the way, I'm going to make a sale to you. So let me show you. It just throws off the whole dynamic of the thing. And if you feel like you're being sleazy about the sale, or if you feel like the audience is thinking that there's something wrong with selling, then the audience is going to think there's something wrong with selling.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
So I really want to understand how this guy has completely short-circuited human nature because everybody loves to complain. Sorry.
He does.
So you're saying nobody complains. I just don't get it.
Okay, I'll tell you how he does it. There's a couple of things. One is that he engineers the entire video around the sale, right? But two is that he makes it, because he does that, he makes it so that it's like this. It's like you want this thing, because if he's telling you, 10 ways to trim your nose hair, and like number 5 is some tool that does it for you, right? You're like, oh shit, I want that, right? Because you're already interested in the topic and you've already gotten those hints. And like one of them is this tool, right? It's like he had one, like here's a good example, actually, a practical example, which I bought from, which was one where he was like, how to keep 3 ways to keep your shirt tucked in, right? Or maybe it was like 4 ways or something like that. And one of them was like the underwear tuck, right? And so he demonstrates the underwear tuck. And then one of them is like, I forget exactly what it was. It was like suspenders. And then the one where he was selling the thing is he's like, oh, okay, so this is how these, I forget what you call them, but they basically clip to your socks, right? And then they, clip your shirt, right? And he showed how those, and he's like jumping, and he's like, so by the time he's gotten to that, you're like, oh damn, I want some of those things. That's awesome, right? Like it's like you're getting what you want, essentially. So it doesn't, like, you don't, when you see him selling the thing, you're like, oh, I'm glad that he's selling this thing because this is what I want. So
yeah. He doesn't make a big deal about the fact that he's selling at all. He never even makes a reference to the fact that he's selling and that he's going to make money from it or anything like that. It's like, hey, yo, if you want it, the link is in the description below, and I've got a deal for you. You get 20% off or 50% off, and then he moves on. He never makes a big deal about the sale, because in his mind it's not a big deal. He is committed to the fact that audience will get value from it. I think making a big deal about the sale totally kills the momentum or the thought process of a person, because they suddenly start to feel, if you're feeling awkward about the sale, they feel awkward about the sale. And now it's like off.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So education is the way. I really hope anytime next time when we do whatever we do in terms of a promotion on YouTube, we got to educate, man. Just, you know, and for some reason, I think you also feel that it's not authentic if you educate and then sell to them, right? Somehow you feel like you want to just have a sales page, so it's straight up, this is what sales is about.
Well, no, actually, the strategy I was looking at with that was it's like, well, this is YouTube, so people aren't listening. Like they're like, we got to get to the point quickly, so let's just make the pitch, right? Whereas the other content is what is educating them. But the thing is, I hadn't talked about meditation much, like, so that didn't work in that case. In productivity, it did.
Yeah,
It's still, it's just like, I didn't want to waste too much time talking about, losing all the viewers that would drop off, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think you're right. I think it's better to just go ahead and do that and take that, because then the people that don't drop off are going to be the people that are interested, that are going to be the buyers anyway. So
yeah, if we educate them and the people who are interested stick on, they are the likely buyers. They never complain.
Yeah.
But if early on we put the sales pitch on, everyone is going to complain. They're like, what the fuck, man? Why are you doing this? A bunch of dislikes, all that crap comes through. But if you wait it out till the end, they don't complain because there's value in them. They are the ones who are interested. They will see through it. I mean, they will watch it all the way through. That's what I meant, not see through it. And they should see through it in the sense they realize that I've taught you and now I want to change your life.
Yeah.
I think, there's quite a few things we learned from this promotion shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, the sales page, I think now I'm thinking we just wasted 1,000 clicks.
Yeah.
They could have, if I had a webinar, if we had sent traffic to a webinar for a $300 product, we could have still converted if we could grab their attention for the webinar, all right, and make them watch the damn webinar for an hour. We could have still done it. But with the sales page, coming off cold for a $300 product, it was difficult. But with a webinar, we would have done better. So, but now it's over. Fuck it.
Well, and I think John's point too, if he had been talking more about meditation and the benefits of it in his other videos, I think people would have latched onto it more.
Yeah,
because he would have basically primed people for it.
It was a lot of like pre content and pre-content that was missing in this one. Yep, but the funny thing, here's what happened. The funny thing happened on my audience side, right? So my audience, part of which is from Simple Programmer, right? The ones who had bought my products through Simple Programmer promotions. Mm-hmm. What happened was initially the sales page had just me on it, and John's testimonial video was at the bottom with like no awareness of, whatever. Then what I did was I actually put John's testimonial video on top of my video. Yep. So they watched John's video before they watched my video, and it was for all of my audience. What they did was it literally really bumped up my audience's or my Simple Programmer audience's interest for the product, because they now saw that John was interested. John was actually learning meditation and John was getting value from it. So they could see that this is so valuable, right? Yeah. But I had prepared the same audience over the last 2 months talking about meditation books and this and that. So they were primed for that idea. But then when John says, hey, it really helps, now they're ready. Now they're like, okay, well, now I believe that this actually works and I like it. I'm going to invest. So the same sales page didn't convert for John's audience because they felt like John's just trying to, I don't know what happened there, but price point, probably lack of pre-content, lack of a lot of pre-content in this case, I guess, because I did like 2 months of pre-content for that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, if you think about it too, you also had the list of buyers that already bought, right? So those were the prime list. So they already got the intro from your list.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that are going on there, but yeah, I think, I mean, if I were to do it again, I would definitely say that we'd want a lower price point for whatever we're pitching to, as an affiliate on an audience. Like that's number one. Number two is I would do like a video series of me like benefit from meditation and things like that. I just have a series that's already going, and then at the end of it have an evergreen pitch, like, right? So like we set up the series so that it's always got some kind of pitch at the end.
Yeah.
And then basically have like the sales pitch be talking about it very indirectly, just saying if you want to learn more about meditation.
I think I agree with all of those. And if the price point was higher, a webinar would have been, I mean, if $297 is actually the price point at which you want to sell something, then I would say a webinar is what we need. A sales pitch will not convert.
Yeah.
Right.
Another thing would be to dump them just right into your funnel so that you can
exactly
email, right? So my goal would be to just drop them into your funnel.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think what worked for the productivity thing did not work for this, because there's a different level of it's a different kind of product. Book summaries is a very known product. Nobody has to think too much about it. It's a very simplified product. Here, there's a lot of trust involved. Who is this guy? Why should I learn from him? All that stuff has to be built up.
Exactly.
And that won't be built up that quickly. It'll take time. Yeah. So at $297, you have to send them to the other person's, at least a webinar sign up or something, or nurture sequence on their list. I think we got to go through something like a product launch formula thing at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. No, straight up sales page won't work.
Yep. It's just, you can't just go up and be like, look at me, I'm sexy.
Yeah. I think it could have worked if we had a really low price point product, which was just a recording of the meditation workshop.
Yeah.
And you had actually done some pre-content on it, and it was maybe like a really low price point recording of the product. That's it. No coaching, nothing. I think people would have gone for it just with a simple sales page at that point.
Yeah. There could have been an upsell to a bigger thing, but
Yeah, exactly. There could be an upsell to a bigger thing after that, but the base would have worked.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. It's a learning experience. We'll see. I mean, I haven't really sold a lot directly on YouTube either, so we'll see when I sell my own product on YouTube too, how that.
Yeah, but I would still, like, no matter whose product you sell, I would really urge you to rethink your strategy on what is sales on YouTube, to really think about sales as something that's really genuine and good for them.
Yeah.
And just don't make a pitch very fast, very early. Make a pitch slowly, or at the end. Like, I really think if you try that strategy, Alph M, fucking Alph M, man, I mean, unbelievable. Nobody does it like Alph M does. Shit.
Yeah.
Even Antonio doesn't do it. Antonio does it sometimes, but Alph M is just like ridiculous.
What is his thing again? What is his?
Just Alph M.
Just style, men's style.
Alph M.
Yeah. Men's style, grooming, fashion, all that stuff. He has like over 3 million subscribers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And his like ratio is really good. His comment ratio is really good, which tells you a lot that people are cool with his sales.
Yeah.
So guys, check this out. So I got an email yesterday from a casting director.
Oh yeah.
For a home improvement television show. They're looking for the host, a lead host. So they wanted to get in contact with me. They saw one of my YouTube videos. I'm guessing, Manny, that they saw the YouTube video that we did with Tom.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of acting as the host in the car, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what they saw.
Yeah.
Anyway, that just came out as well. So I called the guy up yesterday, and he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "We want to get you as the host of the show. It's not a pilot. We already had the pilot, so it has been picked up by the station, by CNBC already. So CNBC.
Oh wow.
And he's like, we ran the pilot. The host of the pilot, the test audience did not like. So my job is to replace him with someone more personable, like, so he's like, I watch your videos. I want to submit you to the studio. So today, in a few hours, I've got a Skype call with them where they're going to record it and do basically like a demo reel, kind of like they're going to submit that to the studio to get approval from the studio. But if that goes through, I'll basically be hosting a investment property home improvement show, like for short-term rentals.
Nice. Something we can't talk about on the show right now. But you might or might not have experience about that.
Yeah. So yeah,
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. So
we can all be famous by association.
That's right. We'll be the entourage.
There we go. Got to get me some bling.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice. I think there will be some real auditioning as well, right? In LA, or where is it? Live?
No, I don't know. Maybe like a test.
They probably will do it because it's pretty expensive to do something like this, right?
All those home improvement shows are all in Canada, so he's gonna have to move to Vancouver or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
is that?
In LA. This is CMBC, but they're gonna do, but it'll be like around the country, like going to different.
Yeah.
Basically, the premise of the show is I'll be going out to different people's houses where they have like a spare garage or an extra room, and helping them to figure out how to turn it into an investment property to be able to make extra money.
Like an Airbnb property, right?
Basically, yeah. I think so.
Awesome.
I think that's what they have.
That's what they want. They want short term.
Yeah, short term.
Airbnb is the right thing.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it works.
Yeah, man, that'll be fun. That'll be so
that'd
cool.
be pretty crazy.
You should. I don't know how if Tom could be involved in any way, but Tom could be like the big mentor in some ways.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That'd be
because we're talking people making $1,000 a month. Tom fucking makes $1 million in those deals like that. Short,
exactly,
quote unquote short term rental deals. Shit.
Yeah, it's funny because the casting director, he was like, "Oh yeah, you probably get a lot of people, contacting you, a lot of casting directors and stuff from your YouTube channel."
You're like, yeah, all the time.
Like, yeah,
every day.
It's funny.
Well, I use those services when I'm traveling and stuff. So, like, I just booked room for CES in January
in Vegas.
Yeah, and I just got a VRBO.
Yeah,
because it was way cheaper than a hotel room.
Because
as soon as they announced the dates, all the hotel rooms prices go through the roof.
Yeah.
Well, the good strategy as a traveler is to make sure you just book that whole week out for whatever number of days, and then when they find out, just cancel every other date and keep that one.
Oh, I could do that because the hotels would totally do that.
Yeah, exactly. So book the hotel
you can
before.
Usually guess about when it's going to be too. So.
Exactly, you know which week it will be. So it's not any rocket science, really.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I think I'll have a whole the Me Too thing.
Hey,
there you go.
John, are you going to sell something else on your channel, please?
Am I going to?
Yeah, just don't make a big deal about it. Just sell damn something on the channel which you feel really good about and you want to sell it. Just sell something. Because I think it'll be fun to go through that process of just getting used to selling on YouTube, and not feeling bad about it. Because I feel like you feel bad about selling.
No. I sell on YouTube all the time. But here's the difference. Okay, I sell books on YouTube all the time, mention products all the time, put affiliate links in there all the time, right? But here's the difference. The difference is when it's an actual sale, you've got the time constraint, right? It's like a launch, it's a sale, right? It's like you've got to hit on those elements of urgency. Otherwise, you lose.
But you only will get, I think above urgency is interest. So you only want to go after people who are interested. Who cares about the non-interested? So I think of YouTube as every video should be educational. Otherwise, don't put it out, right? Every video should be either educational or fun. Don't put it out. Don't put out a straight up sales page. Please don't do that. That's what I would say.
Right.
But if it's educational, even if it's urgent, it doesn't matter. It's educational. They watch it. You get 1,000 people to watch your videos anytime. In fact, what happens is the contrary. When you say something like, "Hey, save $200, sale," at least Rodrigo needs to make some changes on the freaking headlights. But
Yeah.
like that almost makes people not click them. That almost makes people like run away from that, right? So, but if you say, "This is what I learned from meditation. This is how I learned to meditate. This is how I made my breakthroughs," and you have specific videos on that, people are much more likely to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? Even if we had broken down the video we had into 3 pieces and said, "Oh, by the way," and each of them you said, "Oh, by the way," at the end of it you said, "Oh, by the way, you can buy this program at the end of blah blah blah," and we did 3 videos like that, that would have been so much better, because people would not have complained about a sales pitch, a raw sales pitch.
Yeah. No, that's true. It's true. Yeah. If I weren't traveling, I would have probably had more time to work on it. But
Yeah. But again, like even when we did the productivity one, you straight up go to the sales page and you start talking about the sales page, and I feel like that is.
yeah, that's why I duplicated the same thing that worked, because it worked for the productivity one. So, but the price point was smaller. We had a lot more credibility with the audience on that. Like it was about books. So,
but even then, like I think it could have worked even better on productivity one if you had just taught them something more about productivity, and then made the pitch.
yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
Because more people that would have watched it, and more people would have like stayed on, and then because as soon as you say, "Hey, sale," people don't even want to click on it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
But if you say like, my story on how like my biggest hurdle on meditation and how I overcame it, now people will watch it, and now you have a real story of what is going on, and then you say, "Oh, by the way, if you want to go through the same process, here's a link." That's it. 1 minute, man. Don't even go through 10 minutes of sales. 1 minute is all it takes.
Exactly. Yeah.
After you've convinced them that this was useful for you.
Yep. No, that's true.
So I'm waiting for you to do the Alpha M style sales, man. Do something. That will be so much fun. Like, because you got you got to. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like your audience needs to get used to the idea of you selling stuff like that and not worrying about it.
Boosh! I tied my socks to my underwear or my shirt.
I'm sure there is some product he can sell, maybe not underwear.
Actually, a bunch of clothing companies have been sending me free shit lately. So.
Oh, there you go. John Jockey Shorts Sonmez.
Actually, I like the Sax, SAXX.
What is that?
That's the underwear brand.
Oh,
they got a free plug.
There you go.
Their sales just went through the roof.
Yeah, that and Tommy John's. Tommy John's is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, what else?
What else? I've decided to undertake a new book. I'm going.
Nice. So, what did the agent come back with something?
Yeah. So I'm doing a book called Bulldog Mindset, which will be basically what the idea of the channel, of the YouTube channel, kind of that same thing with the shift, but focused on the mindset, on transforming and building that Bulldog mindset. But I'm doing it traditionally published. So I talked to my agent, and he said, "You need to write a book proposal." And he sent me 2 examples of book proposals, and it's a pretty big deal. It's not a small undertaking. So if I want to do that, I have to do a book proposal and send that to him. So I'll probably do that.
Publisher you're looking at, or
no? I kind of I feel like I could get like somewhere around maybe like 100K for advance on it. Like I'm looking for a good. I feel like it should be competitive simply because of
the audience.
Some of the other books. Yeah, and also having already hit Wall Street Journal, best-selling list with software development books where this is mainstream. So I think that.
Is there any power outlet there? No.
But yeah, we'll see. So I have the outline for the book. I have all the chapters, and I start writing actually. But I need to write the
There's no power outlet there, right?
Yeah. And when you're
Okay.
when you're writing your books, do you just take a certain amount of time every day and work on it, or how do you?
So the first book I wrote, when I wrote Soft Skills, what I did was I did a chapter a day. They're small chapters, right? Like 2,000-3,000 words. So I spent about probably like 3 hours a day working on it, and I got it done in like 2 months. And then for Complete Software Development Guide, I did 2 Pomodori per day. So basically about an hour a day of writing, and just did that every day, and it took about 6 months. But it was also 300,000 words. Whereas this book also is only going to be about 80,000 words. So
okay,
it'd be much faster. One thing I've learned about writing books is write short books. There's a whole bevy of reasons for doing that. One of them is just economics of the printing and price of it, right? It's like a book that's 700 pages does not sell for a lot more than a book that is 150 pages, unfortunately, right? You think like, well, shit, it's 700 pages. It's like almost 4 times the effort. It doesn't matter. 4 times the content, it doesn't matter. It's a book. A book sells for a book price. So unless it's a textbook, but even then, like it's silly, like to try and play that game. So, and then not only that, in the pricing, the printing, right? So if you want to have a physical book, when you get up above 200 pages, you're fucked, basically. Like it's going to cost you a lot of money. So
really,
Complete Software Developer's Career Guide is like 500 pages, and it's just, we can't print it for less than like $20, basically, like, with fulfillment and whatnot. So you can't price it for less than $25, and there's not much profit in there. It'd be so much better to be like a 200-page book.
people want paperback in the $10 range because then it's really easy. It's an impulse buy, right?
Exactly.
The $10 price point, $9.99 on Amazon. It's really easy to buy that book compared to
That's true.
Yeah, everything's more expensive. The layout, formatting, editing, recording the audio, everything. When you increase the length of the book, becomes more. In fact, it would just be better to. I've been talking to Josh about this. Is we might actually do this with the Complete Software Developer's Career Guide, but if we break it into 3 books, which was one thing we were talking about initially, was to write it as 3 volume set or not, but that's a much better plan. You're making money 3 times instead of once. Your printing costs, everything goes down. All of that, basically is lower. So that's the thing. It's like you want to write smaller books for sure.
How many words is
power there?
that?
How many words is what? Is Complete
How many
Software
words is 200? No, how many words is 200 pages?
It's about 80 to 100,000.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on what your paper size is and your font, but essentially around that.
That's interesting. So you're gonna have to make it crisp this time around.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Like a more focused topic, and if there's stuff that's not covered, save that for book 2, right? Because
Save that for online videos.
Yeah.
That they can get access to by putting in their email address.
Yeah.
Nice. What is the timeline?
I don't have one yet until I've got a publishing deal in place. But I'll probably, when I get back, I'll probably start committing to working on like maybe a chapter a day. In that case, the timeline would be like 2 months. So.
Chapter a day, 2 months, 60 days, 200 pages. So, what is the process though? Like, you're gonna first just write out the whole thing for 30 days, and then the remaining 30 days are gonna be editing and all that stuff, or?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the process.
So if you can write 10 pages a day, you're good. You write 300, and now you're gonna cut it down to 200.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
And you hire an editor to do that work.
Well, see, that's where it comes in. If you have a publisher, they're going to have an editor. They're going to have So you're going to have those resources. If not, then you hire an editor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm just going to focus on completing the manuscript and the book proposal. That's what I'm going to focus on, unless I'm doing a television show. So we'll see.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
John's video keeps freezing.
The best internet here. I've figure out, is this camera okay for, like, is this frame okay? Because I need to have like the best lighting, the best possible. Or should I use my iPhone for the
But
video?
your camera, I don't know if the camera quality is good. It's very pixelated.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's the camera or the bandwidth.
Connection.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the width.
Like, dude, like Chuck's video is coming through in HD sometimes because his camera is also HD, but yours is like horribly pixelated.
Yeah. Okay. I think
my internet sucks. That's why it doesn't stay HD.
What I'll do is I'll tether to my phone when I do the call with them. So.
Yep.
You're not getting a good connection.
Yeah. The Wi-Fi kind of sucks there. But as far as the framing, though, it's okay with this camera. This camera is weird because it's like at the bottom of the.
You can tell them that you are in Hawaii on a short-term rental. That makes it up for everything.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they're more looking for for you as your presence and your charisma and all that stuff, which will shine through.
Yeah, but they also mentioned, like, he said in the thing, in the confirmation, that like they talk about like what to prepare. This interview will be recorded for casting purposes and utilized to help the producers network make their casting decisions. Therefore, we want you to look your best and find a quiet place to interview from. Purpose of this interview is to get you to know you personally. So please don't be nervous. Just be yourself. If you have a fun and energetic personality, we will see that and know about it. What to wear. Make sure you wear clothing that best represents you and your style. Please do not wear visible logos, busy pattern stripes, solid blacks, solid white, or loud dangly jewelry. If you're wearing a hat or sunglasses, we may ask you to remove them. Framing. Attached is the email example of images how to frame your Skype.
Damn.
So yeah, so they're pretty serious about it.
Yeah, CNBC, right? They aren't wasting time.
Yeah.
It should be a fun experiment, man.
Yeah. I wish I had a better camera, but it'll have to work.
Your phone, right? Your phone camera?
Yeah, but then I have to like prop it up and figure out some way to. I mean, I could potentially, but.
What time is your call?
It's in 2 hours.
So you
I'll
can't,
experiment with some stuff.
You can't go to Best Buy and get a stand for your phone.
There you go.
You can't just go to Best Buy in Big Island.
Oh shit! No Best Buy.
There might be one in like Kona. I don't think there is one in Kona.
Oh my god! Yeah, big ball. Shit. Wow.
You should frame it with the volcano erupting in the background.
Ask people where Best Buy is. Like, bro, you like my computer, bro? Because you want computer. You like scrap.
Yeah, your connection is pretty crappy. Is my video pretty pixelated too?
No, you're fine.
It is on my end.
Yeah, your connection is crappy.
Yeah, it's all your guys' fault, actually.
There we go. It's all our fault.
It's all because of the promotion yesterday that John couldn't get a good internet connection.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I need to take off soon because I'm doing some stuff with my wife today. So.
Going to the zoo?
No, we're there. They have the parade of homes, is what they call it, and so we walk through all the showpiece homes that the builders have built last year. So you go through 33 homes, and we went through 8 yesterday, and so we have 25 left. So
Okay,
buying
well,
them.
I can join you, and I can tell you how they can make more money from those homes.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's fun. We're taking my father-in-law with us for Father's Day, so
So we can help you break down the garage and make a, side income using a short-term rental.
there we go.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. John, come on out.
All right. All right. Well, let's do our thoughts then.
Yeah. I mean, I think my thought this week is just going to be, if you need time, take time. And it's not like I haven't been working, but it's been nice to be able to just take some time off. The other thing is that I've been focusing on the processes and systems behind the business, and that's been really, really helpful too. So I feel like I have a better handle on things. And so instead of frantically trying to make it to all of the recordings, I've just been getting the stuff done that I need to do. So yeah, that's my thought. I guess it's two thoughts. Yeah. Working on your business instead of in your business.
Mine is sort of almost the opposite today. It's like what I kind of discovered was like, yeah, it takes some time, maybe like take your foot off the gas a little bit, but always have a hustle. Always have some kind of hustle you're doing. Like you gotta be like, otherwise you're just like it's sort of like a shark needs to have water constantly over their fins, otherwise they die, they can't breathe. So a shark has to always be moving, right? Even if sharks sleeping, it has to be moving, right? They turn on half of their brain. They actually sleep with half of their brain at a time, so they're actually moving so that water's passing through their gills, otherwise they die. And it's the same with entrepreneurs, I would say, right? This is like, at least with me, I'm
with
like
every human being.
Yeah, is if you're not constantly doing something, if you don't have at least something going on, some water passing through your gills, you're just gonna sink to the bottom and die. And it's gonna be one of those weird kind of slow death that you don't realize. Like you're like, oh, I need to stop swimming so hard, otherwise I'm gonna drown. But it's like that's not the answer a lot of times. So I don't know. I like started the book project, and I was like, why the fuck am I doing a book project right? Like it's stupid. Like right, I'm supposed to be like chilling, but then I got excited about the book project, and like now I've got this potential to do this show, and it's like I actually want to do all this stuff. It doesn't mean that I have to like be working like 12 hours a day all the time, but I guess what I'd say is like you can take your foot off the gas, but at least half of your brain needs to be awake.
Yeah.
You can't have both of your brain asleep, otherwise you'll die. So
I think that's I did a video on that, the 5 wonder drugs of life, and the most important ones is having a goal, a mission, and a purpose. I think without that, no human being can almost survive.
Yeah.
Literally, you'll struggle mightily. Okay, so my thoughts. So I think it's a combination of quite a few things. But I was listening to a podcast interview yesterday, Pat Flynn and James Schramko, and Pat Flynn was asking so James Schramko was saying, Pat Flynn was telling the story of how he sold from the stage the first time, and he was so nervous, he didn't want to do it, he didn't want to sell. He never wanted to sell anything, right? He always wanted everything should just be free, is the way he used to operate his business, right? He only made money from affiliate for the longest time. So when he went to Chalene Johnson's stage, she's like, no, you're going to sell a podcasting course. And he's like, no, I don't want to sell it. She's like, no, you just sell it, right? And he sold it, and he's converted 30% of the audience, which is incredible. But then when James Schramko again started talking about selling from the stage, Pat asked him the question, well, James, do you feel any awkwardness about selling? And Schramko said, no, I don't. I think that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? And or part of if I know if it is something of value, then this is something that people should take. And Pat was like, well, why don't you give it away for free if it's free? And then James Schramko explained, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I can't just give away for free. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a life. I wouldn't have a business. And as I was thinking about that, I realized James Schramko gave a wrong answer, because the right answer was that if I don't sell, I cannot make a change in that person's life. It's really as simple as that. What I mean by that is this comes from a very old Indian concept called Guru Dakshina. This is from like thousands of years. every time a pupil would go to the like, if there was a pupil and a teacher, the teacher had to be paid in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, the education was useless. Right? You have to pay back the teacher. Otherwise, the education never takes hold.
Yep.
It's the same with all the free stuff that we have out there. It will never really work as good as something that people invest for.
Right.
So unless people invest, they will not pay attention. Unless people pay, they will not learn. So I have to make them pay, otherwise they will not learn. I know that. And that's why I think sales is not a bad thing at all. I think sales is a part of improving their lives. If they don't pay, they will not be committed. And if they don't pay, they will not pay attention.
Right. Yep.
Yep. True.
Yeah. It's Tim. Was it? Yeah. I think. Shit. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was talking about his first Jim Rohn seminar, right? And he had a mentor that was like, "Oh, you need to go to this. Like, it's $60." And and Tony was basically, "Oh, well, can you give me the $60 so I could go, to the seminar?" And he's like, "No, you have to work and make that money so you can go to the seminar, so you get something out of it."
Yeah, exactly. If you don't pay, you're not going to get anything out of it. There are so many people, just like, there was some guy yesterday commenting that, hey, why don't you, something like so sacred, why are you charging for it? Why don't you give it away for free? The truth is, people will not use it.
Yep.
Yep.
Anything people give away for free, most likely people will not use it. When you buy a book yourself and you read it yourself, you're going to get 10 times more value than if you just try to get it for free somewhere. Just as a rule of the world.
True.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, to next week. I'll be back, actually. Josh will be gone in Ireland.
Yeah, you're back, what, Thursday you said?
Wednesday, yep.
Awesome.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code. Listen to John, Josh, and Derek as we figure it out. We are the EntreProgrammers, and we'll teach you straight up.